everybody. What is going on? This is a Club the Man 1993 coming to you for this warmer but rainy Monday afternoon video to do the WWE 30-day challenge, day number 29. I say that because, it's starting to finally warm up here a little bit after we've had an occasional nasty snowfall here and there, but it's starting to warm. It's supposed to be a little warmer this week, but of course today it is raining a little bit, so can't go outside for a nice little outdoor walk, so I'll have to stick to the treadmill again today, which is completely fine with me. But anyways, just a little ramble at the beginning. I'm sorry about that, guys. I tend to do that. But so today is day 29 of the WWE 30-day challenge. Today's question is going to be involving me doing some storytelling about the personal experiences for me in the WWE, that is. Because question number 29 is earliest memory of WWE. So, as I always mention, how many times, you guys? I'm a late bloomer fan. I have gone back on the WWE Network, which, if you did not know, is just $9.99 a month. So glad they slowed down on that plug. That was just driving me insane. But so I subscribed to the network, so I have gone back and watched a good amount of old stuff. Not a lot that has me being the most knowledgeable wrestling historian of all time, but enough that I have been able to see some of the best from some of the best, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, you name them all. But I've only been a wrestling fan for 5 years now. Technically, I was not a full-time wrestling fan until 2013. But the first ever wrestling event I ever attended was the Christmas Raw and SmackDown tapings in 2012. It was a few months after I started college. Right before I started college, I had been, I had reunited with a good friend of mine from baseball 2 years earlier. And through him, I made a few new friends that night at the baseball game. One of them, of course, was my good friend Daniel Gaiza, who I started talking with because him and I were going to the same college. We never had any classes together, but we went to the same college. So we all became a good group of friends, and we all tried to look for other things besides baseball games just to get together and just hang out with for the occasion. And then like later that year, like November or December or something like that was, I was asked by one of them, like, hey, I don't know if you're really into this, but would you like to come along with us for this? And I'm like, sure, why not? Something different, just to hang with the guys also. Now, of course, the funny thing is, people always ask me, Mike, how on earth did you become a fan of wrestling if this is your first event? Because the only thing I remember from this night was a great Khali dressing up as the world's tallest Christmas elf, and Alberto Del Rio riding into Santa with a car, and then him and John Cena having some type of Christmas street fight, with Del Rio getting a bowling ball shoved in between his legs a couple times. Of course, the place where it hurts pretty much for guys who of course know how that feels, but of course that was just a weird first event for me, but I was a little interested, but I wasn't really that interested in it yet, so it's like I still got together with my friends and they would be watching the Rumble and whatnot, so I invited me over. I got to see the Royal Rumble 2013's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I watched WrestleMania 29 with them, and then like in the summer, once in the blue moon, I would just, check out a little bit of Raw or whatnot. And, I'm like, it's all right. But again, I wasn't, like, that into it yet. Finally, SummerSlam comes around here. SummerSlam 2013. One of the best pay-per-views I've seen these days, guys. Like, currently. Like when it actually happened. Not me, like, to think, oh, this happened in the show. Oh, let me go back and watch this. This was me from the beginning watching, okay, what's going to happen in this show? Thing. That was my mindset. And of course, that was we saw the pretty good shows, not just the main event, but everything else I thought was really great on that card. And then that main event, of course, with John Cena and Daniel Bryan, an awesome match leading to afterwards where Triple H turned heel and helped Randy Orton become the WWE champion. I'm just like, wait a minute, this guy literally just worked his butt off to get to the top and beat John Cena to get the title, and now it's being taken away right away from him. Like why? Like what's going to happen next? What's going to do? So I started watching a little bit more. And then that October, Raw came to Pittsburgh, and I went with my friends again. It was the night after Battleground, which we didn't watch that pay-per-view, but it was the night after Battleground, and then the Big Show had been fired that night. But then later at the end of the show, he came out and he knocked out Triple H with his knockout punch, or a weapon of mass destruction, whatever it was called back then. So like around that time, like I started watching more, and then even around that time on that episode of Raw, I started watching every week after that. So that's how I got hooked. Daniel Bryan's Rise to the Top, as Steve saying, was when we got hooked. Now I have experienced a lot more, things live also besides those occasions. Let me see here. What else I do? 2014, I went to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. That was here live at Console. Well, formerly known as Console Energy Center. Now it's a PPG Paints Arena, which I hate that name. I'm sorry, just PPG Arena would have been fine, but PPG Paints, really, guys? There was that in 2014. I'm trying to remember what else we went to in 2014. It was a live event. I feel like it was an episode of Raw. Maybe we attended. I cannot remember. 2015, though, I got to see a few things. I actually went to the Raw a few weeks before WrestleMania, where Bray Wyatt was demanding an answer from The Undertaker for his WrestleMania challenge, and that's the thing where Undertaker pretty much had accepted, but he wasn't there. But the lightning bolt came down, struck his chair, got experience that live. That was also the night where Randy Orton beat down Seth Rollins, officially solidifying his turn after being on his good side for a few weeks since he returned to Fastlane. That was a pretty nice beatdown. What else did I see that year? I feel like there was a couple other things. In the summer, I went to out to New York with some of my friends to see NXT TakeOver Brooklyn and SummerSlam. That was an awesome trip. I can't say much enough how much I enjoyed that trip. And then, of course, I saw a very terrible episode of Raw. It was like right before the TLC pay-per-view that year. It was the night where the League of Nations formed, and I distinctly remember at the beginning of that show, first had this big celebration with the New Day. I think this is going to be something good, and it was just a celebration for Sheamus winning the world title. And I remember all this confetti come down. I just got some nachos for dinner that night. And I remember when this was all just for Sheamus coming out to be world champion, which I wasn't a fan of Sheamus' title run at the time. I mean, I do like Sheamus, but again, as a world champion, he never really hit it off for me, in my opinion. I just remember standing up and screaming, "Is this what I got all this confetti in my nachos for?" Like, I was pissed off, but that episode of Raw sucked. I'm sorry, guys, but it did. But in 2016, I saw a few good things. Well, did I? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what I saw. I saw an episode of Raw here live. We had an episode. It was a pretty good episode. We had Dolph Ziggler taking on Triple H in an actual match. Afterwards, Roman Reigns returned, but the match was really good between Ziggler and Triple H. Reigns returned, and he beat down Triple H. Which, again, the beatdowns in Triple H and Roman Reigns' feud were fun, but the story was way off. And then there was like a segment between Taker and Shane we got to see, which was pretty good to see Taker live. And then I think it was like a live event that summer or something like that we went to. I don't remember at all. But of course there was Roadblock End of the Line. I saw that live also. That was live here in Pittsburgh. Not the best thing I spent my money on. Roadblock End of the Line wasn't a good show, really, in my opinion. Last year, I went to SmackDown Live, the episode where Shane McMahon, AJ Styles brawl with Shane McMahon threw his head through Shane's head through the glass window of a car, broke. I saw that live last year. Last year, I also saw an episode of Raw, but it wasn't really that good. Well, the first 2 hours were good. It was the Raw where Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman face off in a triple threat. That should have been the main event, but instead it was a 10 o'clock hour match, and then the last hour sucked. We ended with a terrible match between Big Cass and the Big Show. And I don't think I've been to an event since. We had a live event here in December we didn't go to. There's supposed to be SmackDown here next month, but my one friend's not interested in really going right now. And I'm not going to go alone. And unless if business picks up, I plan on just watching the episode from home. But yeah, I mean, I've got to be AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and Kurt Angle at autograph signings so far. And if things go well next year, we could be going to WrestleMania if it really is at MetLife Stadium if the rumors are true. So for being a late blue wrestling fan, I've met 3 really great superstars. I've been to a bunch of really good. I've seen a bunch of good moments live in person. I have gone to 2 out of the 3 biggest pay-per-views of the year live. Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. I got to see an NXT TakeOver live also. And next year could be WrestleMania for me. So, despite being a late bloomer fan, I gotta say, got a very good experience. But that is some of my memories of WWE, and of course my earliest memory as well as for this question was. So what is your earliest memory of WWE? Do you have any other events you've seen live, or any superstars you guys have met? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, again by either comment or video response, and be sure to always click buy, like, and subscribe. We're on the channel. Follow me on Twitter at DebateAndWriting3. Tomorrow we'll be wrapping up this 30-day challenge with question number 30. It's a pretty good one, not as good as this one, I feel, but and also be back up here for my live Raw review also tonight as well, probably around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that is it, guys. Thank you for tuning into this 30-day challenge as always. Until then, guys, I will see you all tonight. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.